Really good, thanks. Yeah, I had a good period off after the last race in Brazil. I went to do my Tasmania Challenge in Tasmania, which went very well. We had some fantastic athletes do the race this year and raised some good money for charity, so I was very happy with that. And then I had some surgery on my leg, which was needed to be done. A little bit of maintenance surgery, which went very well actually, so that was nice and smooth. Well, I think that the RB9 is a good step again from last year's car. It's an evolution of the RB8. So Adrian is massaging, along with his technical team, the car along into a condition which we understand well. That's the first thing. We have to understand what the car is doing from a simulation perspective, and then also on the racing track. So that's given us a lot of confidence to hit the track running with a good feeling with the car immediately. Also operationally, I think it was the best start to the season we've had from a testing perspective, especially in Jerez. The team was working very, very well together at night, during the day, and it's all these small things that make a big difference, because all of the competition we're against, they're doing a very good job as well. So we need to make sure that we do the really, really small things well, and that is putting us in a good position. So far, so good with the new car. The Pirelli tyres this year in 13 are changed again, mainly on the front of the car. So there is some differences there that we have to understand. All the teams are in the same boat, so we will learn some things even when we go racing. Of course, we get as much data and information as we can in terms of testing, but when it comes to racing, we need to understand a bit more about the tyres. So this is one of the bigger challenges outside our own team, if you like, because we can control the things inside the team, but this is obviously a product from outside which we need to understand. And the Pirelli tyres can be quite unpredictable sometimes, so we need to understand how they work, what they need to do to operate on the car in a good window. I think early in the championship, yes, it's very key that we understand the tyres, because the first 4 to 6 races will be important to have a good feeling with the tyre and understand how it's working on short runs and also on long runs in race conditions. So that's going to be very important for us to understand. On top of reliability, all the normal things that we're going to need from a team, good pit stops from the guys, all the things procedurally that make us a strong team and have been the best team in the pit lane for the last 3 years. February is a very, very busy month for us in Formula One. I think it's not easy for the fans to understand how busy we are, because they don't see too much action on the track, but they see, the downtime, I suppose, we have is filled in with work like this. We have a lot of PR commitments, a lot of sponsorship commitments, new partners with the team, different livery on the car. So we have to have all of the photo shooting done, all of the filming done correctly. And yeah, we need to chase the weather as well. We cannot do it all of our base in Milton Keynes, because the weather in the UK at this time of year is not very nice, so we need to come to Spain. So everything needs to be organised very, very well. And testing, promotion, understanding everything, and before we know it, we get to Melbourne in a flash. I think that the car will change before we get to Melbourne, yes. It's normal that when you put the car on the track for the first time, it's really just to get the car on the circuit and check some really, really strong systems checks, let's say. Temperatures and all these type of things on some changes where we might have packaging things a little bit differently. But then when it comes to performance, of course, then you will tighten the envelope of the car a little bit more when you start to get more focused towards the first Grand Prix. So we are mindful of that in February. We know that that's definitely the case, so we're not going to lose too much sleep on what we're doing in the first part of winter testing, because even if we're strong, we're not getting excited. Even if we're weak, we're not too worried, because the season is long, and we need to start for sure in a competitive situation the first Grand Prix. Yeah, Kyron Pilbeam, who was my engineer for a long, long time at Red Bull, actually ever since I joined Red Bull, so all of the results I've had have been with Kyron. All of the wins he's had in Formula One have been with me as well, so we've had some really good times together. And he chose to move to a different team. So yeah, he'll be missed obviously at Red Bull, but we have a great engineer in Simon Rennie, who's coming from Lotus in Stone, and he's got very good pedigree, and already I'm working very well with him in winter testing, along with Gavin Ward, my performance engineer. The three of us are, starting off very, very quickly. So this is, part of Formula One. Unfortunately, there is sometimes some changes, but it moves in a way where everyone is still positive to work with a fresh start and a new environment, let's say. Kyron is happy to have a change of scenery as well. So he's happy there because you don't want him not to be happy where he is. So overall, we have still a very strong team and one that can challenge for the championship. I think that, as you say, it's very unusual for a driver to be in a team for so long. 7 years in one team is something which happens fast. That's the first thing. It happens very, very quickly. And for sure, we've achieved some really good things. I would like to achieve more. Obviously, I have another great opportunity this year to get the last box ticked, let's say. But I think that for sure there's a lot. Most of it comes down to me, because if I'm not performing, if I'm not fit, if I'm not well, if I'm not doing that, for sure a top team doesn't want the driver. So that's my first job, is to make sure that I'm performing every single weekend, every single year, and then of course you're in the market like I have been the last few years. Red Bull have been keen to keep me, so that's been good. And yeah, we're focusing now on a new season, and for sure we want to beat everybody else, and I'm not looking too far ahead. Obviously every year is new challenges, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah, the feelings I have for the Australian Grand Prix are ones which, I've been on the podiums at most tracks around the world, but and winning in quite a few circuits around the world, but in Melbourne is one which I would for sure like to add to that. I really enjoy driving at the track. It's not a track that I dislike. I enjoy driving there. The atmosphere is fantastic. The people of Australia love the Grand Prix there. For sure there's a few people that aren't motor racing fans, but in general everyone is very excited to have a world-class international event in Australia. And we really do know how to put on a top-class event. So I'm proud. I'm really proud when we go there with Formula One as an industry and as a huge business, obviously, and that we do such a good job on putting on such a good event. So, but selfishly for me, of course, I want to go there and perform well and focus on myself and get the job done. And it's just another Grand Prix. I need to focus on the race itself, and yeah, and the champagne will taste a little bit better in Melbourne if I can do the job.